All right. Happy Monday. Happy Monday rolling out. Happy Monday from Crystal with Love XO viewers here on YouTube. I'm just happy to be here today. Happy to be here. Hey, Tamika. And yes, our conversation with Charmaine is getting ready to take place right here. It's 8 p.m. Eastern, so in just a few minutes. But before that, I wanted to get on and tell you guys about a great promotion that I'm excited to be a part of. We are assisting with promotion for the night tour. The night tour features Maxwell, Joe, and Fantasia. And I'm going to tell you guys, Joe is one of my absolute favorite. I'm a fan of all three artists, of course. I mean, you can't go wrong with Maxwell, Joe, or Fantasia. It's like the ultimate romantic night. The ultimate R&B romantic night is happening on September 30th right here. Actually, it's not here in Atlanta. It's not far from Atlanta. It's in Jacksonville. But I wanted to make sure that I shared this with my audience. It is Maxwell the Night Tour featuring Fantasia and Joe. And we see the lineup there by the size of the font with the names. Maxwell is our headliner, Joe and Fantasia. But again, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with any of these artists. And so what I'm doing is hosting a little giveaway. We are giving away 2 free tickets. I'm actually going to attend because that is like my anniversary weekend. So I'm going to attend because again, you can't get more romantic. That's the perfect setup for a romantic evening. Maxwell, Fantasia, and Joe. But again, back to Joe, like that's my from the gate. Joe was his voice is just a signature sound. So if you want to win tickets, and Jacksonville is not that far. If you're in Atlanta, you can drive a couple hours to Jacksonville. If you're in Florida, you can come up to Jacksonville. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. And then I want you to use the hashtag the night tour and share how either Fantasia, Joe, or Maxwell impacted your life for a chance to win 2 tickets to the show. We're going to do the giveaway next week, but you can enter as many times as you want to. So make sure that going across the bottom there, make sure you're subscribed to this channel if you're on YouTube. Make sure that you like and are following this channel if you're watching on Rolling Out, and use that hashtag the night tour and share a personal story that happened to you or that impacted you with either Maxwell, Joe, or Fantasia. I have so many, like Joe, Good Girls. It's so many. But anyway, I wanted to make sure to offer that to my audience. Just thank you guys for the amazing support that you continue to show this channel. I am so appreciative of that. So make sure that you do that. We had it was a jam-packed weekend. If you were on social media, as always, instead of Kanye causing trouble, we had Ray J kicking up dust. I don't know if you guys saw the commotion going on with Ray J and Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian. Actually, it was really just Ray J addressing the Kardashians and talking about this sex tape from decades ago, just about that. Obviously, I don't think anyone was shocked or anyone believed the story that we were told by the Kardashians and Ray J at one time about how this tape just magically happened to get, exposed to the people, a distribution company, and just happened to catapult Kim Kardashian to fame. I didn't believe that it was an accident. I don't think most people did. I think that it just became something that was out there and people knew, but people kind of always in the back of their mind thought it was connected to the mastermind of Kris Jenner. And it's hard to think that, because you don't want to think that a mother would be involved in exposing their daughter's sex tape. That's just like some really weird stuff. But also we know that the Jenner Kardashian clan are like the blueprint of marketing and being able to like really navigate this landscape of social media and marketing. And so I didn't think it was too far off, but Ray J has come up and like basically validated all this and is saying that they're making him look bad. There were actually 3 tapes. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see everything that Ray J had to say, but it's a whole trip that was going on all this weekend. But again, we want to cleanse our palates with some good R&B. So make sure one more time that you hashtag the night tour, hashtag the night tour and leave me a comment about how either Joe, Maxwell, or Fantasia affected your life. And you can win 2 free tickets to the show. Come join me and all the other the lovers that want to come out and have an amazing night of R&B. All right. With that being said, I see our guest of the hour is here today. Now, this beautiful lady we know her from Black Ink Chicago, but if you follow her on Instagram like I do, you know that she recently became a mother. She's got 2 beautiful little babies, and we get a chance to see her, flexing her entrepreneurial muscles and all of that stuff. So please help me welcome the very beautiful Charmaine Walker.
Hey, Crystal.
Oh, hey.
You know, I have my times wrong. I did not look at Eastern time. So you are getting bare natural Charmaine.
But you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And you are absolutely beautiful. And I love the fact that we get a chance to see you like in mommy mode. Like you give us the real, and I think people appreciate that because I remember having babies that small and you had like the same baby twice.
I know. Like, I mean, that just goes to show that they have the same father. So
they do. That's that because it's like that they are so adorable. But yeah, we get a chance to see you like really living, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, did you make that choice? Because I know there's so many people that are dead set on only looking perfect on camera and making sure that they don't. And I think people are kind of over that. Don't you think so?
I think so. I know I was, but I also got a lot of backlash for that too, because, being a mom, being a working mom at that, because I'm on the radio every day, obviously being a wife, being an entrepreneur, by the time it was time to film, I was tired. Yeah. And, people want your lace front laid with the baby hairs and makeup artists popping face. Yeah. And I couldn't always give that. But I didn't have any shame in my game. Yeah. But some people was hating. But, I feel like I'm a real person. I'm always trying to give that. I'm not gonna fake it till I make it. Like, you get what I'm giving. Okay.
Right. No, I think a different type of fan and supporter come when you're doing that. Real talk. Absolutely. Like, I think there are people that like to look at you for entertainment, but then when you show them like, this is really who I am without they appreciate that.
Got my natural hair going today, girl.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you very much.
I love it. But then too, when you have daughters, to me,
yes.
When I had my daughter, I didn't wear weave when I was young, and then I moved here and started doing entertainment, so I did. But I remember thinking like, I don't want my daughter to not love her hair and who she is. And you start looking at things different when you are a daughter. You have a daughter, and you're her first example. So, how has being a new mom with 2 beautiful daughters, how has that changed the way you kind of look at your example and what you're putting in front of them?
I feel that I definitely would not want them to watch old episodes of any TV show I was on. But if they did, I think they would still recognize that person. They know who mommy is, right? But the example that I am trying to give my daughters are a little different than what my parents tried to give me. Like, it was very disciplined and very structured and like, very little room to like mess up. Yeah. And me personally, being on the other end of the stick, being a child, and hey, like, we don't know what we're doing. Like, we do stupid stuff sometimes. My daughters do crazy things sometimes. Like today, I was walking by and I saw a mural on the wall that definitely was not there when we moved in, and that's something that I would have definitely got like a whooping for. Like, I would have definitely, like, the belt would have came out, I would have got a whooping. And honestly, I mean, even I say like, Nola, we can't do this. No. And then I go tell her dad, like, oh, by the way, Nola wrote on the wall. And he's just kind of like shrugs his shoulders, So The example that I am trying to lead with is that you're human. You
Yeah.
don't know right from wrong. You don't know everything in the world yet, and
Mhm.
just growing through experiences. I'm definitely gentle parenting,
Right.
um, which is different for us.
Challenging. It can be challenging. Yeah.
Very challenging because I'm telling Nola no, and she's telling me no. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Now
I'm like,
how old is Nola now?
Nola is 2.5.
She's two
Okay.
and a half. Okay, I was thinking she was near three. Yeah, that's an interesting age. But I love the fact that first of all, there's no book on parenting. Nobody knows what they're doing. I don't,
Right.
your parents didn't, my parents didn't. I definitely did not.
Right.
But you do the best that you can, and and you grow with your children. You grow and you learn,
Yeah.
with your babies. I know, of course, the chat is asking about why did you leave? Why are you not on Black Ink Chicago? Before we get to that, because I know that's definitely something people want to know. Let's
Yeah.
talk about when you first, what was the changes in your life when you were doing what doing, living your life, and then all of a sudden the opportunity to be on a reality show came in Chicago. And there's Chicago, there's a lot going on. I love it there, but that's not a place that you usually think of reality TV. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like different opportunity. So how did your life change with Black Ink Chicago?
My life changed, I mean, drastically with Black Ink Crew Chicago. Like you said, it's not the first place you think of for a reality show. So
Mhm.
the fact that we had that opportunity and we represent Chicago, it was definitely an honor to do so. And I feel like we represented Chicago very well, because we showed the good and like the bad and the ugly, but we definitely would show positive things,
Mhm.
not just what people are used to hearing on the news and stuff. But Black Ink definitely changed my life. I would not be sitting here with you, you know, talking about the things that we're talking about tonight. Um, Being on the radio, my boss Johnny D was watching Black Ink Crew Chicago when he said, "Hey, I want to put her on the radio." So he discovered me to put
Wow.
me on the radio. And, Black Ink, along with GCI, has
Mhm.
really given me a stable foundation to have a career in
Yeah.
entertainment. And although I didn't go to school for this. A lot of us didn't go to school for what we're doing.
Mhm.
I was a speech pathology and audiology major.
Wow.
Okay. So, I was actually studying to go to grad school when I got the call, "Do you wanna be on a reality TV show?" And I was like, "Thank God something saved me. I sure wasn't trying to take that test," you know what I mean? Um, but it definitely changed my life for, the best. Um, it wasn't always easy because we know what we have to do to like get ratings, and I knew my role and I stuck to it, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
And I don't regret anything, but
What was your role? Was it spoken, or did you just kind of, is that like what you guys kind of
um
came up with?
I would say it wasn't spoken and wasn't what we came up with, but it's what I brought to the table
Mhm.
for our pilot, okay?
Okay.
So if the network buys Charmaine this version, you better
Mhm.
not switch up on us later. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
we're buying into the twerking and her love story, her love triangle,
Mhm.
and she's from New Orleans, so very free spirited.
Mhm.
So yeah, like I was myself, but like probably times 10.
Okay.
But the spoken of it was, "Hey, we need you to show up today and we need you to show out because everybody else, kind of dry. So it's all
Mhm.
on your back right now.
Right.
And I would do that. It was no, big deal. But I was also allowed to grow over time. I didn't
Mhm.
always have to stay in that box. At some
Right.
point, it was like, okay, you don't have to do those things anymore. We want to elevate you and, show you in a more interesting light. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Versus
Mhm.
like surface level of whatever we were doing then. So,
Yeah.
um, I was able to grow over time for sure, but it wasn't spoken my role. But everybody knew what they were supposed to bring to the table.
Right. Well, it seems like, we got a chance with the entire cast. We
Mhm.
sat down with Ryan earlier, actually last month, and just the entire cast from Don. I've interviewed him several times.
Mhm.
For you see so much growth in
Mhm.
all of you guys.
Yeah.
It seemed like when you first came on to me, you were young, you were trying to figure yourself. Everybody's kind of figuring themselves out under the microscope of television, which has got to be really difficult when you're still young and trying to figure out, like, what am I doing? Who am I? And what do I want to do?
Right. Right,
You know,
right, right, right.
all of that. But how did the relationship was the relationship with you and Ryan, that friendship, what brought you to the table, or how did that happen?
Um, so what brought me to the table was definitely the relationship I had with not only Ryan, but like the entire cast. I mean, we were like really in real life close friends, and we would all go to the tattoo shop like every night. At the time I was working at Groupon, and Danielle was like a teacher, and at 5 o'clock, girl, we was rushing, speed racing to NYMAG, and Ryan would have like the Hennessy ready for us, and Kat would be there, and we would have an amazing time. It was just such a great time, and we did that for like 2 years. And one night, Ryan was like, "Producers are reaching out to me for me to do a reality show," and I'll never forget. It was probably like 2 in the morning. We're all laughing, like, and I remember being like, well, we would never do that, And then a few weeks later, I get a phone call, girl. I'm speeding home to do my Skype interview.
That's cool though, because I think the show took off and became a fan favorite really quickly. And I think
Right.
it probably is because of that really authentic relationship
Yes.
that went, relationships go up and down, friendships go through stuff, but you can see if it's really authentic and if it's not. And I think people could feel that they really do know each other. There's a lot going on that is unspoken because there's a real relationship there. So
Yeah.
that is really dope. We saw you, like you said, get the opportunity with WGCI, and RJ Renee asked, "Are you still there?" And yes, you are. Right.
Yeah. Y'all can listen to me weekdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WGCI, Inside the Midday with your girl, Charmaine Bey. We playing all the latest hip hop. I'm doing all the cool celebrity interviews. Tomorrow, I'm airing my interview with Queen Key, who is 600 Breezy's baby mother of triplets. Her album just came out, and we also are talking about, what 600 Breezy's currently going through right now. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love being a broadcaster. I love being in journalism.
Yeah.
That was kind of like my passion when I was younger.
Hmm.
But my dad discouraged me from it. He was like, because I used to get like the Double XL and like the Vibe magazines subscription, okay? And I'm
Hmm.
like maybe 10, 11 years old. I'm reading from front to back, even down to the ads. I'm reading everything. Okay. And then I know you remember the movie Brown Sugar.
Of course.
Of course. So like, Angie Martinez is in there, and like it just definitely was giving what it's supposed to have gave it. I feel like every young Black girl at the time was like, I want to do this. Uh,
Yeah.
During that time, we had La La on TRL, and I'm
Hmm.
rushing home every night to watch 106 in Park with Free and AJ.
Hmm.
So, I mean, what a nostalgic, time that was. And
Yeah.
I was really like deep into that, like deep into the celebrity news and what was happening and who has new music and what the critics are saying and what videos are going to be number one today. And, I remember when Lala was proposed to by Carmelo Anthony when the ball
Yes.
dropped on New Year's. Like, I was watching and I was a little girl.
Yeah.
Um, my dad, I was like, Dad, I want to be a journalism for like hip hop magazines and or journalist for hip hop magazines. He was like, hell no. Like, ain't no money in that, and you need to go be a doctor or a lawyer, and that's it. And I remember crying my eyes out,
Yeah.
and it was so just discouraging. And I felt like okay, so I ended up going to Howard for speech pathology and audiology. Um, and I wish I would have stuck to what I wanted to stick to, like my passion, because I would probably be even more passionate.
But look
um,
what happened. Like I hear you, and I definitely get that because as a parent, when your kids get you want the best for your kids, so you try to like, and a
right,
lot of that is rooted in fear because it wasn't this landscape of today is not the landscape that your dad saw growing up. It's not even the landscape that I grew up with.
right,
So I get it, but look what happened. Like look at your
yeah,
life. You ended up being able to do all of it
yeah,
even more because you're on television, you have an amazing platform, and you're on radio doing all those things that you wanted to do. So
yeah.
I when we listen to it, those the viewers that are listening and people that will hear this, I think it definitely worked out, and I'm sure your dad's very proud of you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad literally would call family members and tell them to, tune in to me, like, "Charmaine's on the radio right now,"
Yeah.
and that definitely means a lot.
Yeah.
So, but going back to parenting, when it comes to my kids, whatever their dreams and aspirations are, no
Mhm.
matter how silly it may sound,
Yeah.
I feel like this generation of parents, we're going to support more of that because, we're making money on social media by posting, So yeah,
There's
like,
not the same, there's no fear, and we're not afraid of not being able to having things taken from us because of our race. One of the
yeah.
things that stood out to me is just hearing you talk, and I remember all those moments, all those defining
Mhm.
moments, especially Free and AJ on 106 and Park and
Yes,
all this stuff. But it shows and it proves how important representation is because when you see
yes.
another person that looks like you doing something, it lets you know I can do that. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about in just a bit. Your women's empowerment event coming up, because I think it's really important, especially as it relates to women, because that's who we are right now. It's a woman talking to a woman, for
Yeah.
us to be able to show up for each other, and for younger people to see someone like you on the radio doing that fun stuff, for somebody to be able to watch someone on a reality show doing what they want to do. When you see that, it gives you that hope. It plants that seed that's so important. And you just spoke really eloquently to that, how that happened
Mhm.
for you with Lala and
Yeah.
Free and Angie Martinez and everybody
Yes.
that was on, back then. But okay, so like I said, we had Ryan on, and one of the things that he talked about was briefly was just the relationship with you guys kind of went to a different place, and he had to kind of back away from that. And
Mhm.
of course, viewers were like, "Oh my God, where's Charmaine? Why are we not seeing her? Is she leaving? What's
Mhm.
going on?" Can you clear up any of that that confusion that the viewers are having? Like, where are you at, and why you decided? Now, I know you had went and did your own Second City, your own tattoo shop,
Mhm.
and I believe Ryan said he was trying to help you even with that. But at this point, it seems like you're not connected with them anymore. So
Mhm.
can you shed a little light on that?
Yeah, well, I'm coming from a positive place,
Mhm.
so hopefully none of the viewers get me wrong when they hear me say this, but like Ryan is all cap, he wasn't helping me with anything. That's his story that he's sticking to for
Okay.
reality TV, but like he did not help me with anything. There's nothing that Ryan helped me with other than suggesting my name to be on the show, and then I made it what it was. So he might just be sticking to his script. He didn't help me with anything. That also kind of rubbed me the wrong way when I was filming because that was his storyline. Like he's using me as like a scapegoat as to why his life isn't what it's supposed to be because he was
Mhm.
so focused on Charmaine.
Yeah.
Focused on me with what? You weren't doing you didn't he didn't do anything for my tattoo shop.
Mhm.
He didn't like go get me no new artists. He didn't build a website. He didn't help with social media. He didn't go get me customers. He didn't give me advice on
Was
what
he
to do.
supportive? Was he supportive at
He's
least?
supportive on camera, but off camera, he was actually very jealous and envious. Something that made me actually cry because I thought we were past that.
Mhm.
After my mom died, Ryan and I thought we were past these things. And
Mhm.
genuinely, I was genuine in this, we're past it.
Mhm.
So to hear that when the cameras are off, he's having these tantrums and saying, why do things storyline, why do things like why do storyline always got to go back to this B word?
Mhm.
Talking about me.
Oh,
And
wow.
he is the type to obviously call women out of their names and have these temper tantrums and all this stuff. None of that is surprising. When I heard about it, I knew that it was true because I know him. And when
Okay.
I talked to him about it, um, at first he was denying it, but then I'm like, bro, like, I know you, right? Like, like I can hear you saying this, like,
Right.
stop, And then he basically was trying to explain his side of where his envy and jealousy comes from when it comes to me. And, a lot of that don't have nothing to do with me. I'm
Yeah.
not moving nasty when it comes to you. So why are you moving nasty when it comes to me? And
Right.
like, you know, very much narcissist vibes.
Mhm.
Ryan fools everybody who don't know him, but
Mhm.
everybody who knows Ryan, like they know Ryan. Like we know
Mhm.
him. We could see through him. That's how
Yeah.
much we know him.
Yeah.
So like, if I were to tell, Rachel, his baby mom, this story, she is not shocked. If I were to tell, one of his tattoo artists this story, they would not be surprised. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds like him. But long story short, in conversation, he just basically let me know that, like, my husband and I got producer credit one time when he did it. And, the next season, made sure he had producer credit, and along with making sure he had producer credit, he asked them to make sure I did not. But he told me this. So when he saw it on TV that I and him had producer credit, he was mad because he was told that they weren't going to give me producer credit because he like followed up on that. Like I'm personally like, why are you worried about me though?
Right.
Like, what's wrong with me having producer credit if I am bringing more
Right.
than what you're bringing? But this is your show. So out of respect, of course you're going to have it too. But don't be
Mhm.
mad because I got it. And don't try to check my bag. Don't try to go, oh, well, y'all not going to give it to Charmaine, right? That's the type of stuff I dealt with Ryan. And I'm over it.
Mhm.
I blocked him on Instagram. Once I didn't even watch the episodes that are out, but I did see a clip on Instagram. I could see the hate in his eyes for me. Like,
Mhm.
I literally quit the show because of a colorism storyline that I did not like.
Mhm.
I didn't want someone working in my shop, and because I didn't want her working in my shop, they spun it as to I didn't want her working in my shop, and she's crying about protecting Black women and then explaining what colorism is. And I just thought that was disgusting. Like, okay, this is dangerous, and I can't really fool with y'all.
Yeah.
So I was pregnant at the time. My dad just died. That is why I left the show. So to see
Mhm.
Ryan on TV with all this hate towards me, like it didn't even have anything to do with you. But
Yeah.
that's just really how he feels about me though. Like, you
Mm.
know what I mean? So, it is what it is. I blocked him so he doesn't have to see my success.
You know what? I think that's a sign that you truly are over it, because people always like, I want them to follow me. I want them to see everything.
I
But
don't
when
even
you
want
block,
him to see it,
it's
girl.
like, I don't even care in the way that you did. Blessings to you. Go on about your way.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
good
care.
luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm done. I've moved on. Like,
Yeah.
my daily life consists of me getting up every day, getting on the radio, taking care of my children, cooking for my family, cleaning up, like normal stuff. Like, I
Yeah.
am not
Yeah. Well,
obsessed or with other
going
people.
back and forth. I
Yeah.
think it sounds like there's a lot going on that has nothing to do with you anyway. So Yeah, I'm glad we cleared that up. We got that out the way. So now people that are here in the chat, we have a special. I'm excited about this conversation because we're going to bring on Charmaine's partner for this circle of excellence, and it's really like we talked about earlier. It's all about representation and women helping other women, and so I'm excited to bring on Mickey. Hey.
You're muted. What's up, girl?
Hey, Charmaine. Hi, Crystal. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for joining. Like I said, please make sure that you guys are liking this broadcast and sharing it because we want as many women to hear this, especially up in the Midwest. You guys know I'm from Ohio, so I'm kind of like I'm feeling the Midwest vibes. But I definitely want as many people to hear about this as possible. So you ladies have come together and created this event that is a powerhouse for women, especially in that area. So let me ask, Charmaine, I'm going to ask you to start, and then we'll have Mickey jump in and explain how people can get more information and be a part of this event happening in 2 weeks.
Yes, so the event is September 25th, and the way that you could be a part is head over to our Instagrams because the link is in the bio, okay? At Charmaine Bey, Meek Mill, but it's MIKK. How you spell it, Meek?
MIKKMILL.
MILL. And we're throwing this amazing event. Meek actually asked me to be a part of it. This was her vision. And when she came to me and asked me, like, hey, let me introduce Meek in the way of she usually get my hair together. Lately, I've been doing my braids and my natural hair. I had a hair campaign recently, so I just did my natural hair. But Meek lays the wigs, honey, okay? So she is definitely the top wig specialist in Chicago and broader. So when she came to me, she's reputable. Like, she has her own brand. And she said that this was her vision, and that she really wanted to throw a woman empowerment summit here in Chicago. And I felt like that was really important because being in the industry, like, women can be so catty sometimes and mean, not sisterly, not want to share like information on how they got to certain places. And that is what a lot of us are used to. And even myself, like, people would think like, oh, I'm the like top dog in whatever industry I'm in, but there are still women who are not sisterly towards me. So when she asked me to do this, it kind of like hit a nerve. I was like, girl, yes, like, please, So I kind of want to let you speak on it, Meek, like, why you wanted to do this, and you could,
Yeah, definitely. Because I think, Meek, what I heard when Charmaine reached out to me about it, I was like, I love this because it seems to be from the spirit of being very authentic. Because we all know there's all these female empowerment events that are not really about supporting each other. It's really about bragging on everything that a couple of women have going on and not really embracing and pushing other women forward. So how did you come up with this idea, and how is it going to be different from some of those fake female empowerment events that we're all familiar with from Instagram?
You know what, Crystal? You are so right, and thank you, Charmaine. You are so right about the events being fake. And that's why so 4 years ago, I started manifesting this. I'm like, I'm doing wigs. I'm working with all of these people. I've worked with Charmaine and several other people here in Chicago with good energy. And I've also dealt with some women that has given me bad energy in the industry that I was in. So 4 years ago, I just was like, I really want to get in the room and bring some positive energy to some of the young women who I mentor, because I always do business coaching. So I wanted to put together an event, and then COVID happened. So I kind of put it on pause. And, I was doing Charmaine hair, I believe, all throughout COVID. And I think that was after COVID as well. And when everything cleared up, I prayed about it, and I called Charmaine. I said, hey, you got a minute to talk? She said, sure, me. Called her. And the reason I reached out to Charmaine to host this event with me is because when working with Charmaine gives you the best energy. She will put her all into everything that she do. And when I worked with Charmaine, I honestly just felt like she was more like a sister. And I just felt her open arms and welcoming me and her children and her family. I think I seen her husband out at a restaurant one day. They're all so amazing. So I just brought it to her, and we decided that we wanted to bring together some other influential people that we both thought and decided to honor here in Chicago. We're going to be honoring Stacia Mack. We're also going to be honoring Monique from Mayo Organics. We're also going to be giving flowers to Shauna. She's the rapper here in Chicago. And we have some other great women on the panel. Charmaine, I don't know if you want to talk about them a little bit. But yeah, I decided to just reach out, put this together, bring Charmaine and I, we've been working so hard effortlessly for like 2 months, just planning the itinerary, and we are bringing together real empowerment. We're bringing together a room full of women to network. We are giving opportunities. We're also doing a grand charity gesture. We're working with Excel Inglewood here in Chicago, where we're just giving back to some young girls, freshmen through seniors. So we are really just trying to get together here in Chicago and put together something positive, because you all know what you hear about Chicago, right?
We do. And can I tell you, Atlanta is quickly becoming we are competing with you guys for a lot of negativity, but I think it's important. The only thing that combats negativity is positivity. So we got Charmaine on 2 screens.
Oh, there you go.
My internet.
It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that idea, because like I said, the only thing to combat the negative stereotypes is people seeing the opposite of that, right? And so what you envisioned is so important. We were talking about how important it is for young women to see someone doing what you want to do successfully that looks like you. And I know the names that you guys have affiliated with this are women that we all know are successful, but for them to come and actually want to be a part of pulling some other young women up is really admirable, especially in a city that we constantly only are focused on the violence and the negativity. So that's really dope. That's really dope. Charmaine, you want to talk a little bit more about some of the panelists that you guys have coming out to share?
Yeah, so when Meek brought this to me, she had a whole idea of like not just honoring women and it being women empowerment, but like let's put on a whole show, okay? So not only are we honoring these 2 wonderful, amazing women, but we also have a panel. We have Queen Key on the panel, who is a young rapper out of Chicago. I felt like it was definitely important to bring her on the panel because she's the single mother of triplets. Like her story just coming out of Chicago, I mean, you listen to it and to see how positive she is, you can't help but to not only want to empower her, but feel like, okay, my life is not that bad. Like I need to, you feel like, okay, if she can get through it, I can too. So we have Key, we have Terry, who is someone that Meek brought on, who is a credit repair specialist. I think she's out of Ohio too, right? Is she?
Okay. Yes, I believe. Is she Ohio or DC? One of those. I'm not sure exactly.
But Terry's a credit repair.
Key, right? Often credit is the key to business, because if you trust me, being an entrepreneur for 20 years, when you don't have the understanding of business credit and you're trying to run your business off of money that is funding your household and buying school supplies, it's difficult. So that information is key. That information
so difficult. Is important. Yeah. I mean, you can't even get an apartment without decent credit. People think like, money down. Like money can only get you so far, and the people who are going about this life, going throughout life with like just putting money down, I mean, they probably have so much money that they have good credit too. Okay. Like,
if you have bad credit, you're going to end up spending more money because your credit score dictates your eligibility to get great deals. So you spend more because you don't have the credit. So it's really about educating yourself to learn how to work the system. I want to ask
Yeah.
Nikki, like being successful, especially in the hair industry, because we know it's very competitive. Us Black women, we love to get our hair done, but we are also very picky, and it's also can be very trendy. Like here in Atlanta, everybody will go to one stylist, and then they'll all like shift to the other one. What is something that you learned about business that you wish you had known when you got into the industry?
This is for me.
This is for you, yes.
What I've learned about business that I wish I would have known when I got into the industry, I would definitely say that I learned just not wanting to have clients who are of stature. For me, I feel like I was catering to a lot of people who were coming to me just that had big names and things like that. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't really necessarily think this is for me. I started to cater to the young girls and the younger people who were looking up to me, and I was mentoring them. And my clients were just everyday working women. So then that's when I realized that it was just okay for me to just focus on that. Yes, I would do celebrity clientele here and there, but that wasn't my focus anymore. I felt like it was better for me to just work with the clients and the women that was coming to me, looking up to me, wanting me to mentor them. And that's where I started to put my energy. I think I came in wrong with the wrong energy. I came in focusing on the wrong thing. And when I focus on them, God has brought me so many blessings, so many amazing blessings. Just helping out young women and mentoring them, it just warms my heart. So now that's why I coach, and that's why I help out young women and things like that.
I like that. And I found that to be true also. As a publicist, which I was for years, if you are looking for big name clients, they don't want to pay. But the people that will pay you are the people that, oh child, I could go on and on. A lot of times businesses, they don't want to pay. And also they don't drive your business. What it's great to have big names because other people want to come to you, but those people that are going to pay your bills are the everyday people like yourself that are going to put money in your pocket or value what you do. And I think that's definitely a great lesson for those of you guys watching, because everybody thinks they want this big celebrity client. That's one or two. And often they're very demanding, and it doesn't allow you to really grow in your business. You spend a lot of time catering to them. But I also want to ask Charmaine, because you also, you've learned, I'm sure, learned a lot of lessons. People are talking about it's great seeing how much you've grown. And Refined Queen says she was a pretty woman on the show, but motherhood has magnified her beauty. And that's
now, I ain't got no makeup on, y'all. Y'all better stop.
That's real, though. I think people, like I said, you're allowing people to see realness, and that's something people appreciate. They don't see that. It doesn't always show up in the likes, but it shows up in actually impacting people. Charmaine, what's something that you learned through this process that you wish you knew when you first went on Black Ink?
Something that I learned through the process that I wish I knew in the beginning. I definitely had moments where social media comments really bothered me. And especially in the beginning, like I remember thinking like, wow, if I wasn't as strong mentally as I am, then this would make me want to kill myself. I remember how bad those comments were. And this is before people were trolling, and I was getting trolled, heavy paragraphs of just how I am like the dirt on the bottom of your shoe, And it was really hard for me in the beginning. But I think because the way my life ended up going the way it went, I was still able to get a husband who loved me and he know the real me. And, then I'm able to look back and be like, I wish I wouldn't have put myself through that. I wish I would have just enjoyed the moment I was in and been like, they don't know what they're talking about. They're watching a TV show for their entertainment. And just let it roll off my shoulder. But I definitely had many a times where I was just crying about, what people thought about me that wasn't true, So, and it still kind of gets to me sometimes, like when people leave comments on my page and I'm like, oh my God, you got it all wrong, but it is what it is.
It is what
I
it
got
is.
paid. So
Right. You got paid and you grew and you grew. And I think
yeah,
everybody deals with that because even if you're not a celebrity, people are still really mean on social media. It's people focusing, talking from their own ignorance or hurt. A lot of times, it's just
yeah,
people, and it sounds a lot like that is what happened on the show. So this is happening in Chicago on September 25th. So you
yep.
guys go to their social media pages. Any other? How much? What's the cost? How do they? What's the registration like? What is that? How does that work, Nikki?
I'll let you speak on that. Well, go ahead.
Okay. We actually are on Eventbrite as well. So if you search Circle of Excellence on Eventbrite, you can also search the tickets there. And we have general admission tickets for $30.
Right.
We also have a brunch there. So it's so amazing. We're going to have shrimp and grits. We're going to have chicken and waffles. We're just with the brunch, that's the $65 ticket. You can get that, but general admission is just for people who just want to come and be a part of the show. And then we also have our VIP tickets, which are $100, and you guys can sit in the front with us. You'll get a swag bag with some goodies from Charmaine and myself, and you also will get brunch.
Nice. Okay, I like the fact that you
And I
guys
wanted to also. Oh, go ahead, Crystal. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying I like the different levels. That's dope. Go ahead, Charmaine.
I wanted to also just mention, I have my phone out now. I just wanted to mention some more of the panelists that we have coming through. Lene Harper, she is a WNBA player. She will be there. Like I mentioned, Queen Key, Terry, who's a credit specialist. We got Shauna in the building, who's legendary out of Chicago. Like Meek said, we're honoring Mo from Mael Organics and also Station Mac. If you don't know who Station Mac is, that's Polo G's mom. My girl Queen Key, like I said, and then Meek and I will also, even though we are hosting, we're also going to be dropping gems as well about just our experience and whatever we're talking about. But not only do we have the brunch, we also have a list of amazing events or things that's happening, including a comedy sector from our girl Jess Niche. She is going to give us a whole comedy skit. So you gonna sit there and laugh. We're gonna have Double Dutch come through. We have some other entertainment pieces coming through. So we're looking to like make this a great show overall with networking, with women empowerment, with a panel. But we still want people to have a good time and it not be like just so about business. Like we want you to laugh. We're also raffling off some Mary J. Blige tickets. So, okay. So you can get those on Eventbrite too, the raffle, right, Meek?
Yeah, and we'll announce the winner the day before because our concert is following our event right at 7 p.m.
Wow.
So they'll know to come dressed and ready and they can go to the concert. It's right up the street.
Really smart. Really smart. Very smart to have that right before. So it just kind of, hey, get your tickets and then we can go ahead. Or just keep the party going. You guys got shrimp and grits, meal organics and comedy. That sounds like a good time. Next time I can go, so I can come up from Atlanta and be a part of that. That sounds like a really full day. Yeah, full day of sisterhood.
And that's just dope. So you know, you'll be able to come next year because this is something that we're going to be doing annually. So we plan on continue with this.
Nice.
Yes,
absolutely. Well, I'm telling both you guys right now, I definitely want to be a part of it next year. I definitely want to come up because that
got you, girl.
We need more of that. We need more of it from an authentic place and not that BS that we do a lot of times. It doesn't really help
we can have Crystal on the panel. You know
I would love
it. That would be awesome.
I would love to be a part of it. I will say about Charmaine, I'm not sure. I ended up going to Chicago to do a segment of my show for Rolling Out Reality Check, which we're doing virtually now. And Charmaine was immediately, like literally not a stranger. From the time I walked in, she was like, "Hey, Crystal."
Yeah, I
Just
feel like we know each other.
yeah,
We do.
but very warm and welcoming. And you don't know what you're going to encounter when you are going to interview reality stars. Sometimes it's not that way. So I thank you for being welcoming from the first time we met when I flew up there, and I've interviewed you a few other times on here. And you've always been the same. Even when I reached out to you, I think I had an opportunity. I was like, well, you want to do this? Because you were that warm. And so I think a lot of times, as Black women, you don't really know what you're going to get from someone else when you're kind of coming into their territory. But she has been, to me, extremely just really down to earth and really welcoming and warm and just open. And I appreciate that because, like I said, that's not always what you get. So I definitely can relate to Meek, how you said her energy was, and I appreciate that. So,
I really appreciate you giving us time on your platform. I reached out to you and you are immediately like down for it. And this really means a lot to us because this is our first event that we're doing together. I wish I would have got my time right, girl, because I would have been a little bit more cuter, but it's cool. I was like, you know what? They're going to get this natural. And you're not a bad looking person. It's going to be all right. But, I appreciate you.
She does.
Thanks, me.
She does.
I really like your look, though. I see the gooch going.
I do see that Nikki has
together. Okay, she got it together, girl.
This was a quick 10-minute get together.
Girl, I see it. It doesn't look like 10 minutes. It looks like it was me.
Go to the gym and look like that.
Okay. Thank you.
But I appreciate it too so much, both of y'all, just for being great Black women too. And that's what this event is about, us linking up and getting together. Something that I pride myself on is being easy to work with. Like, that's why I have an issue when certain people are trying to make me look like the bad guy, because I'm like, I actually was the good guy. And they say that, the nice people are the ones that kind of get messed over. You know what I mean? And I'm not getting messed over, but what I'm saying is you do have to be careful when you are so nice and so warm, because you don't know what you're going to get back. And people can also be very fake and act like one thing, but really have a different agenda for you. And, you really have to just be careful and kind of still have a shield up, but still protect who you are, and don't let whatever's going on and whatever's coming at you, don't let that harden, your spirit. So, I lost both my parents, but my mother and my dad, they really shined through me, and my mom was a light. So you guys even telling me that, I just think about my mom, and I'm just thanking my mom for, me experiencing her. I've been able to just, this is who I am, because of my experience with my mom. So, I appreciate it as well. And we're going to all continue to work together and be successful.
Absolutely. Well, you guys make sure that you go and look up Circle of Excellence on Eventbrite, or go to Charmaine's page or Mickey's page. I'll leave that down in the comments from this broadcast. So when people go back and watch it, they can get that as well. And then make sure you send us some amazing pictures so we can celebrate with you ladies. Let us know how everything is going. And we definitely want to be there to participate next year, because it's something that is needed. I had the opportunity to see The Woman King, and the movie is absolutely amazing. But what stood out is this, like, it was true sisterhood defined. Like, I'm gonna hold you accountable, but I got your back. And I think that's a representation of what you guys are doing. And I salute you both for doing that when you don't have to do it, but doing it from your heart. So let's go.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, ladies. Well, we're looking forward to it. And we will definitely, like I said, I'll put that down in the comments, and we will be looking forward to seeing what happens in Chicago on September 25th for the Circle of Excellence.
Yes, it's definitely gonna be a vibe. We're gonna have a great time. So make sure y'all pull up. We got the food, we're gonna have the drink, we're gonna make you laugh, you're gonna be entertained, and you're gonna be inspired when you leave, and you're gonna be able to be in the room with people that you would never have the opportunity to talk to, and you're going to be able to talk to these people. So come
Yes.
through and, let's drop some gems together.
Charmaine, last question before you guys get out of here. Would you do another reality show if another opportunity came about? Would you be open?
I would definitely be open, but I learned from my past mistakes, and because I've had the things happen to me that's happened to me with reality TV, the deal would have to be right. Like they don't want to give you ownership of the show. They don't want to give you the right to change the editing. So like if we're not talking that. That little producer credit don't even mean nothing. Why he mad that I got producer credit? Like, we can't even do nothing with this. Like, it's for show. Like, my producer credit needs to mean that I can go in the editing room and I can say, this is raw and real, or, we ain't got to add this extra stuff in because it's already given raw and real. We don't have to turn it into, just make it go far left. It's already left.
What they want from us. But I will say this: the producer credit gives you bargaining power in your next deal. So that's where it does. That's where it does factor in. It's like, I'm coming to the table with my credits and you're gonna give me a deal that reflects what I bring to the table. So trust me, everything works out the way that it's supposed to work out. And I know there's going to do that for you guys as well. Again, ladies, make sure that if you're in the area, if you know somebody in the area, you share this information so they can be a part of it. Thank you guys both so much for dropping in and hanging out with us on a Monday night.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, so we are going to, I want to remind you guys to, again, if you weren't with us earlier, there is an opportunity for you to win tickets to go to the night tour with Maxwell, Fantasia, and Joe. I am super excited about this because it is like you cannot ask for a better version of romance. They're talking about R&B being dead. These artists are proof that R&B is not dead. R&B is alive and well at the night tour. So make sure that you're subscribed to this channel and make sure you use the hashtag the night tour and leave me a comment on something in some way one of these artists impacted your life for a chance to win free tickets September 30th in Jacksonville, Florida. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. And most importantly, I'll see you guys right back here on Friday night because we are recapping Ready to Love. Yes, we are back recapping Ready to Love. There's a lot that's happened. Friday's episode was amazing. You can go over to OWN TV on YouTube and watch the recap between myself and Little Black Book. We talked all about Friday night's episode, but we'll be talking right here on Friday at 9 p.m. Other than that, have a blessed and productive week, and I'll see you guys on Friday.